Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I thank God Almighty for His goodness, grace, and mercy.
Amen.
In allowing us to be back here assembled again as a Morris College family. We do love our Morris College. Last year this time, we were unable to be here.
Right.
No students, few faculty, few administrators here on campus. We could not have an opening convocation. The whole country was virtually locked down. So we are so thankful that once again, we're able to come back together, assembled together as a Morris College family. And we also salute all of our alumni out there, part of our family. We want to continue to pray because the pandemic is not over yet. We have a lot of challenges still in our midst and still ahead of us. And so safety is our first priority. But in spite of it all, for going on 2 years, we are back to some semblance of normalcy, and we pray that things will continue to progress as we move forward. We want to always pray for our national leaders. Lift them up in your prayers also. To our state leaders, don't forget them, because I think in spite of it all, they're all doing the very best that they can and know how. And in many cases, that's wonderful things. Pray for the leaders of the city of Sumter, all of them in Sumter County. And of course, continue to pray for our Morris College family, as we certainly are in need of it. So we're so happy to be back here, and God knows we want to welcome again our new freshmen who have come. I think the number I heard was 143, and a few more trickling in. So welcome to join us. And we, part of the reason for assembling after registration is closed, part of the reason for assembling is for us to be on one accord and to realize summer is over, registration is closed, and we're all ready to get back to work, full force, get to work, and to formally, as Dr. Butler indicated, open our college. This is an annual ritual, and I think probably for the first time did not happen last year. But we understand the reason. So it gives my heart great joy to see each and every one of you here this morning, and by all means continue to be safe and practice all of the safety precautions that we have in place. And we also pleased to have with us, I think, one of our board members. Where's the student representative to the Morris College Board of Trustees, Mr. Moody? Where are you? There he is. You're a board member too. When anybody call for board members to stand, you got to stand too. You on the board. And of course, our beloved brother, friend, leader in our community, city council member, member of the board, Dr. Blassington. Thank you for coming this morning. And I also see one of our friends, she's a part of our family too, who walked in just a few moments ago. Stand up, Dr. Maggie Glover. Great to have you. She's been a part of for a long, long time. All I can remember back, and certainly worked here, done some wonderful things, not only for Morris College, but all of the HBCUs in the state of South Carolina. We'll forever be grateful to you. Thanks for coming to be with us. We are, as traditionally, when we have our formal opening of school, we invite a speaker, in most cases, to come to speak to our students, for the most part, to try and inspire and motivate and encourage them to do well. And we certainly, students, want you to understand and know that Morris College exists for you. But we also want you to understand that before you got here, this college has produced a long line of successful people. That's why you're going to be successful. And so we normally bring back an alumni, a graduate, who has walked these hallowed grounds, burned the midnight oil, learned all of the wonderful things, gone out into the world, and establish a track record of success. It's good to see the thing, to see the thing in action, to see a model of it, and to internalize in your minds that if she did it, so can I. That is true. So we want to inspire you, we want to motivate you, we want you to know that all of this, all that we do, is here to try to make you successful as our speaker. She's one of many, many successful Morris College graduates out there in the world doing wonderful and magnificent things. And in a short while, you too will be out there doing wonderful and magnificent things. So we want to present our speaker this morning to talk to you for a few minutes about herself and how you can also be successful. One of the important things that you students, you're talking to students, have to know that regardless of who we bring and regardless of who you encounter, there is one thing that is constant and does not change. There are a lot of changes, of course, in our world. Everything that you need to be successful, students, you already have. Everything you need. You are capable of doing wonderful things. You are creative. You have it inside of you right now. You are resourceful. You are competent, and we are here to help develop more competence. And so the best that Morris College can do, and will do, and does do successfully, is to nurture you, to provide the environment and the people to help you to discover what's already inside of you. It's there. And so we want you to understand that and make that wonderful discovery. Now, sometimes we get a little bit concerned, we all do as human beings, about what has happened to me before in the past. We get caught up on the past and feel and think that because of whatever those challenges are and were that you had in the past are limiting, that you can't get beyond them. But you're here now. It is all about the here and the now and the future. Put what has happened to you aside. Focus on what's in front of you this moment and chart your future. That's what this is all about. And so we are pleased to have come this morning Miss Tonya Brown, coming from the PD. She is a 1996 graduate. Right here, where you are studying. She graduated in 96. She doesn't look like it, though, does she? She is the General Assignment Reporter from WPDE Channel 15 and ABC affiliate in the PD area, Myrtle Beach and surrounding areas. She is currently celebrating her 25th year with WPDE. She's from Bennisville, native of Bennisville. And of course, as I said, a graduate of Morris College and received her Bachelor of Fine Arts in a program that we had at that time called Broadcast Media, preparing young people to assume leadership and positions in media. We have since transformed and restructured that program into what we now call mass communications. It's the same program. She started working at WPDE as soon as she left Morris College. Isn't that something? Be ready for the job market. That's what Morris College does. If for her, she'll do it for you. She was inspired. I thought this was very interesting in her bio, that she was inspired to be a journalist when she was just a 7th grader. I said a little earlier that everything you need to be successful is inside of you right now. All you have to do is discover it. Some people discover it early. Some people discover it a little later. Some people discover it as a teenager. Some people discover it before they get to college. Some people discover it in college. And guess what? Some people don't discover it until in their 40s and 50s. Sometimes in their 60s. There are a lot of people who've done magnificent things to improve the world who did not become alive until they were in their 50s, 60s. We want you to discover it now. As a 7th grader, the vision she saw in her mind's eyes said, I want to be a journalist. And she did it. Morris College helped her on her way, and it will help you too. That's the message this morning. She is a trusted journalist. Trusted. One of the most trusted journalists in the state. Character. At the core of a person is their character. Trust, honesty defines who you are. She's trusted. And don't we need that today in our world? She's a model of that. She meets those deadlines as a journalist, and she goes around speaking and motivating people and students. And so we're happy to have her here today. I want you to welcome one of Morris College's own, Miss Tonya Brown.
Safety first, right? Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanders. That was very nice. driving on campus today, and I saw all the buildings and all the growth. God is so good. God is so good. The growth here is just amazing. Senator Maggie Glover told me a few years ago, she said, you need to come, Tonya, and come check things out at the college since she left, because it's really changed. And you were right, Senator Glover, as you're right in so many things. It has changed. To Dr. Staggers, Dr. Davis Freeman, Reverend P, Dr. Ali, Coach Howard, Ms. Clayton, Dr. Reverend Blasingame, whose daughter and I went to Morris around the same time, and Nita. Thank you all so much. And to the other faculty and staff, thank you all so much for continuing to do what you do to help students, to help the community, and for showing me the way. Dr. Butler, just thank you for your great, great, great hospitality. Everyone has been so nice. And it's just a privilege to see all of the students here. I too sat where you sat many years ago. So it's just great that you all are here. As I was saying, I graduated, or as Dr. Stafford was saying, I went here from 92 through 96. And we used to have to go to Fall Convocations too. And I remember, I didn't want to go. I'm just going to be honest with you. I never wanted to go to the convocations. I always wanted to sleep a little longer in the dorm. So we planned this great plan not to go to convocation. But our dorm director, she wasn't having that. And she actually came in the room and said, Brown, I know you're under that pile of clothes on your bed. You better be up in 5 minutes. So I was up in 5 minutes, and I was sitting at the time, it was at the auditorium. I was right there at the auditorium attending the Fall Convocation. Now, during my freshman and my sophomore years, I didn't get the importance of it. I didn't think it was important. I'm just going to be honest with you. But as time progressed and I became a junior and a senior, I really understood the importance of the convocation and the messages, the important messages that I heard. I got to hear Dr. Charles Jackson, Dr. Charles Adams, and they, oh my goodness, they imparted such great things to us. And then we were so happy to be able to speak with them, we being students, to speak with them afterwards just to get even more encouragement. I learned so much while I was a student here at Morris College, and it helped to prepare me for my career in journalism. My instructors and professors imparted to me that I had the tools, just as he said, and I had the equipment to do what I needed to do. All I had to do was believe it and receive it and claim it. You will learn a lot here that will help you make that great launch in life, the real world. But you have to prepare now to compete in the world. As said, I graduated from Morris College in 1996 with a degree in broadcast journalism. Within a month, or a few weeks rather, I had a job at WPDE, but I was not a reporter then. I was what you call a tape operator. Anytime you saw the video come on the show, the news, that was me pressing play. But I did that job as if I was the anchor. I put everything I had to do it. And I worked that job faithfully. And within 6 months, I became a weekend reporter. And I did that job while still working as a tape operator. So I was working 7 days a week sometimes, but I was still doing the work. I worked alongside students who went to bigger colleges and universities, but I did the work. You know, they came from Northwestern, they came from USC in California and all these other big schools. But my school was great too, and I did the work. It didn't matter where I went to college. It didn't matter. We all had the same degree. We all had the same opportunity. And within a year, I was reporting full time, and that was because I did the work. Senator Glover will tell you, she was one of the first people that I interviewed. I was so happy to get an interview, I left the microphone in her house. You remember that? I left it at your house and had to come back. Her producer said, hey, go do your next door, you don't have the mic. Of course, things didn't come easy. You know, that's just how life works. Sometimes you're not going to get the breaks that you deserve. Sometimes you're not going to get the opportunity that you deserve. Some people questioned if I could do the job. She came from a small college and something. Can't you do it? I remember a conversation I had with a lady who I consider to be a mentor. She played such a big role in my life as a young child, as a student. And when she found out that I had the job at the television station, she really discouraged me. She says, "You can't do that job. You're going to have to go get a master's from USC or from Clemson. You can't do that job there. That's going to be too much for you." It crushed me because she was truly a part of my village. If anyone knew me, Dr. Staggers, it was her. She helped me through high school and through middle school, and spiritually she counseled me. And here she is telling me that the field that I was in, what I wanted to do, was too tough for me to do, and for people of color. Now, I could have let that distract me. I could have let that discouragement, change my mind. And I could have gone back and got a master's or whatever else. And I encourage people to continue your education if that's what you want to do post a BA, a bachelor's degree. But I didn't let her doubt me. Even though she was in my village, I didn't care what she said. And I didn't let it stop me from ascertaining what I wanted to do. I knew in 7th grade at a basketball game in Blenheim, Marlborough County, where I went to school, that I wanted to be a reporter. And I would go up to people with a pencil and a little notebook and say, "What do you think of the game?" And the pencil was the microphone. And people really answered me, grown people answering a 7th grader asking about a game. My aunt at the time was a television reporter for WPDE. She broke a lot of barriers for us to get to where we are. And I wanted to excel, to be like her. So just because it was one person telling me that, even though this person meant the world to me, I wasn't going to let it stop me. Do the work. You have to do the work. You have to show that you have what it takes. You have what's inside you already to do the work. There are going to be people smarter than you. There are going to be students that come from bigger universities. But you compete and do the work. You have to work hard, even when times are hard. Right now, we are living in some of the toughest of times. These are unprecedented and challenging times. I never thought that we'd be in a pandemic this long. Initially they said April of last year we'd be out of it. Just a few weeks. Let's flatten the curve. We all remember that, flatten the curve. Well, the curve flattened, but when things opened back up, what happened? The virus continued to spread. It's totally changed how we live for now. Because I know God has a plan, and we're going to get out of this. This is not to be always. And I've covered the deaths of so many people in the past year and a half, and even a close friend, my dearest friend in the whole wide world. She lost her life to this deadly virus. And it just feels strange without her. COVID-19 has interrupted so much of our lives, but don't let it stop you from doing what you need to do to reach where you're going. You've got to really take advantage of the opportunity to get a good education right here at Mars College. Your parents, your grandparents, people in your community, and people right in your village, they're proud of you. And they are depending on you to be the next great success to come out of that community. You're the apple of their eyes. Don't let college life and all the fun that's going on and all the great things going on and even the not so great things with this pandemic stop you from excelling with your classes. A lot of people, when they talk about virtual learning, I ran into a lot of parents who said my child just didn't do well, and I understand that face-to-face works better. That's why we're here today. And I understand that you all have to really know what this school is doing, what Dr. Staggers and his faculty are doing to keep you safe. As I walked in, I saw the teacher, the professor. She on a beautiful blue dress. There she is over there. She on a Michael Kors mask, yes. And she was getting the students. She was saying, no, you're too close. Move this way, move apart, don't gather. Because she wanted to keep you safe. They're making so many sacrifices to keep it going. Do the work. work. Yes, you're going to make mistakes, but don't let that consume you. You've got your whole village, wherever you're from, looking for you to make it. The school is choosing to give you all what you need, even during a pandemic, and that speaks volumes. The preparations in their plans to keep you safe. So come graduation day or at the end of the semester for you freshmen, the end of the year, you can advance to the next level. This isn't easy. It's not easy, but Mars College is doing the work. They want you to get what you've come for, and they refuse to let COVID-19 be a barrier. Yes, it's caused a lot of things to change. Put on your mask and do the work. Your professors and deans here are role models and hold the blueprint for you to succeed. Yes, you can look to celebrities and other people, but you have role models right here at your college. Right here, board members. I looked at the young man where he stood and said that he was a board member. You've got fellow board members, young man, who you can really look up to. Reverend Dr. Blasingame, a nice person who was willing to listen and to help you in any way that you can. Dr. Davis Freeman, who I met for just a few minutes over here, inspiring people. Coach Houck has been inspiring people since I've been here. He hadn't been here that long since when I got here, only a few years. We're not that many years apart. But he's still working to get people in here, to get a good education on an academic, on an athletic scholarship. Your role models are right here. I've interviewed a lot of people over 25 years, a lot of people. Sports, athletes, celebrities. I've even interviewed presidential candidates. I've interviewed Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. I've interviewed Michelle Obama, lots of people. But one of the greatest interviews I've ever had was a 102-year-old woman right there in Darlington County. Her name is Annie Mae Beelan, and she turned 102 this summer. And the story that we did, she went viral for because she says the key to long life was just minding your business. If you mind yours, I mind mine, everything will be okay. And she was so sincere with me. And she says, Tonya, that's one of my keys to long life. I'm not going to say it's the key. But it really gave me a new perspective in life. It wasn't because she said, mind your own business, but how she approached life. She begins every day with prayer, and she ends every day with prayer. She prays for her family, her church, her community, and the world in general. And that's what Dr. Staggers was saying, that we have to pray for our leaders, local, nationally, and state. Annie Mae Beelan has done this for 70 years of her life. And her skin is beautiful. She's a beautiful person inside and out. She believes in what she says. She's just not saying it. Again, these are unprecedented and challenging times that you've got to take it head on and do the work. When you do the work, things will come your way, I promise you. It used to be that people said, tell me what college did you attend? And I would say, Mars College, over in Sumter, is a historically black, co-educational, liberal arts college. Now they say, Tonya Brown, that's the girl who went to Mars College. You see how that changed over 25 years? I was telling Dr. Davis Freeman that I have parents who will message me on social media and say, Tonya, you went to Mars College, tell me what it's like. I've got a son. I want to send him to a really good school. And I begin to tell them, it was the best place for me. This is where I learned the Bible. Reverend P. in his class, learning the Bible. You know, I went to church all my life. I didn't read the Bible. I just skipped through it. Yes, I knew Bible verses because we had to learn that in church. You know, you're not going to get your candy or you're not going to get your gift until you read that Bible. My favorite was Jesus wept. And there was nothing they could say about it because it was in the Bible. These parents, they come to me, they ask me, and I tell them. It gave my sister, my first cousin, it gave us all good quality education where we can compete with anybody. I don't care what school you went to. I went to Mars College. And we were proud of it. When you do the work, promotions, advances, and all sorts of good things will come to you. As Dr. Staggart says, this college has really turned out a lot of good and successful people. Some of the best preachers and educators that I know all hold degrees from Morris College. The greatest preachers, what we call the preacher of preachers, Reverend Blasted name right here out of Morris College. I'm looking into a crowd of future graduates who will carry on the legacy of other Morris College graduates. Do the work, young people. Take advantage of your situation here now and seek out your plan of success. I told myself, I'm not going to be a tape operator always. And I gave myself 4 months. It took a little longer. I went 6 months before I got to the next phase of my career. So set your goals, plan your goals. In 25 years or so, it could be you. But remember that standing right here, talking to young graduates, it could be sooner than that. Your success will come sooner than that. I claim it, receive it, and name it.
All right.
But you got to do it. You can be right here. So in the end, all I say is do the work. Do the work. Don't get caught up in things that don't make sense. What did he say? Leave your past where it is. That's your past. All that drama in high school, leave it there, please. You're going to have haters along the way. They may not want to see you succeed. Leave that stuff, right? Leave it back in bones. Leave it back in there. Leave it in something. Because when you walk out of here, you're going to be a new person. You're going to be changed. And they're going to say, what? Where did he go? Oh, that's right. That's Morris College. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. And I hope that something I said will help you as you try to go through this school year. Thank you so much.
Sermon you're preaching. There is no substitute for doing work. You got to do the work. Get there. So as we embark on the new semester, first semester of the new academic year, our message this morning as we begin to depart is that we want each of you to have a very successful and great semester in whatever it is you're doing. As a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, as an administrator, as a faculty in the classroom, we want you to do your best work. Do your best work. And one last thing to the freshmen, you especially, it is important that you get off to a good start. Because if those grades are not good from the start, it's hard to dig out the hole.
Yes.
And just to remind you that to continue to get the financial aid, scholarships and Pell Grants and all of those aids is tied to your grade point average. It's connected to that. Low grade point average, or in some cases, no grade point average, no money.
All right.
So keep that in your minds also, that we want you to do everything we can. And we've got a whole special group of people looking at you, looking after you. We want your success. And there was a famous writer that said, Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measures. It is the light inside of you that is frightening. Keep your eyes on the light. Keep your eyes on the light. And you will definitely be successful. That's for all of us.